So if you've seen any episode of this show in the past, then you know that my threshold for considering any UFO footage that's floating around on the internet to be real or authentic is pretty high compared to other people. It takes quite a bit to convince me, but there's one aspect that always piques my attention, where I'm like, there might be something to it. And that is if we get more than one recording of either the same object or the same incident, right? We spoke about the Jerusalem UFO in the past. I debunked that. Link that down in the description if you're interested. But the videos that I want to show you guys today clearly show the same object recorded by different people in different states, so various witnesses seemingly filming the same thing. And a lot of people are very, very convinced. I mean, you just need to read some of the YouTube comments under this very first video that we're going to look at. People are saying, simply put, one of the best UFO videos I've ever seen. From its size to the way it was scanning, it was most certainly a probe, intelligent control of light, blah, 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 blah. I don't think people realize how important this video is right now, but it's going to be known soon, 1 year ago. How soon? How long do we have to wait for everyone to realize how important this video is? This is the most important video I've ever seen. I've never seen a more important video in my life. I love the UFO community so much. This is by far the best evidence I have ever seen. I see you only posted 2 videos. Are you still around? What's going on? So this is linking to the original poster because that is the original video. It was uploaded 11 years ago. It was covered by ABC. It was shared by Tom DeLonge. You may remember that guy, you know, Blink 182 and now UFO fan, I guess is a word to use. But the original uploader of this video is called Research for Truth 12. On YouTube, and I'll link this video as well as all the other videos we're going to look at in a minute down in the description so you can go check them out yourself. But I just want to give him a shout out for sharing this. It's been a while, but somehow this video recently has bubbled up. But without further ado, let's look at the video and maybe consider smashing the like button just before we get into this, okay? You can do it right now. It's no harm done. All right, let's go. So here is the UFO close encounter in Michigan on October 27th, 2013. In the beginning, you see this guy, and I apologize for the quality. This is the best you can get. The guy's driving with a car, okay? So you see the headlights there filming, a very rural area. Seems to be on some fields. And there is the object. And I want you guys to listen to this. I'm going to put the audio up in a second. Listen and watch. And maybe leave me a comment underneath. And if you notice anything, right? Do you notice anything? We're going to finish the video first. It's not too long. And then analyze it afterwards. Oh, it's a bit loud. Sorry. So here you see the object with this green laser beam with some particles floating through it, seemingly scanning the ground, right? Clearly saucer-shaped object, glowing, very bright. It makes a noise. Listen to this. So here it is. Unfortunately, I mean, again, it is 13 years old, so the camera tech at that time wasn't incredible. Plus the YouTube algorithm and compression really gives it like some strong artifacts. But I guess we can see what's going on. Look, the object seems to be scanning the car. Do you see that? While it kind of spins around. It seems to be spinning around its own axis, right? Spins around its own axis. While you see these green lasers scanning over the car. This is fascinating stuff. And I hadn't seen anything like this before. Again, if you notice anything, leave me a comment now. I'm going to analyze it once the video is done. Now the object ascends into the night sky, glowing very, very bright. And disappearing. It just disappears. Okay, that's pretty much the end of this video. So what's going on here? What are we looking at? If it would be only this video, I maybe would have put it in one of my compilations where I debunk 2-3 videos in one video, but thing is, there are more videos of the exact same object, as I kind of teased in the beginning already. Here's one called UFO Swamped by Military Aircraft in Lithia Springs in Georgia. So again, first object we just looked at recorded in Michigan. This was recorded in Georgia. Okay, I'm trying to make the audio not too loud. The video is not as good as the first one. It's more shaky. Again, filmed during the same time. This was uploaded 10 years ago, but apparently, if I did my research correctly, this was seemingly filmed roughly 2 weeks after the other object was filmed, right? And at this point you might say, well, look, it's just a white light in the sky. How do you know it is the same object? Well, keep watching. And I'll skip through it. This is a fairly long clip, 2 minutes 40. We don't need to watch the whole thing. Again, I'll link it in the description, but check it out. Keep an eye on the object now. Keep an eye on the object. Wait for it. Wait for it. Almost. To be honest, I don't know when exactly the thing happens, but it was around that timestamp. So again, look, it floats around. Again, oh, there it is. Do you see it? The same green laser. The same green laser with these particles floating around in it, seemingly scanning the ground. And that is like, it's pretty much the same object, right? This is clearly very similar, at least, to what we've seen in the other video. And then later on, you can hear it approaching now. Military aircraft. Someone else said it's a helicopter. I can't really decipher whether it is a helicopter. Maybe you can. Leave a comment. Anyway, we don't see the object. We don't know whether the aircraft or the helicopter is actually approaching the object, right? Is it the military trying to do damage limitation, right? Do they just try to approach the object and try to, shut it down or whatever so people don't see it? We don't know. There's a third video, though. Here's one recorded in Cleveland, Ohio, November 1st, 2013. So again, same time frame, same object. Check it out. Okay, so here's the object. Again, I'm sorry. It's all potato cameras. We're in the year 2013. And it's the middle of the night. We have to forgive these people, I guess. But like even just the camera work is just god-awful. But as we keep watching it, at some point, keep watching. Wait for it. And you will see in just about a second the same green laser. There it is. Do you see it? Same green laser, same shape of the object. And again, don't make the mistake thinking that it spins around like a wheel, right? If you look at the front of a wheel of a car, it spins around like that. It doesn't do that. It's an optical illusion. It spins around its own axis, right? That's what it does. It's pretty clear. But again, here's the third video from the same time frame, seemingly showing the same object. And we're not done, because there is the fourth video as well. And again, we're just skipping through it very quickly. Again, Southeast Michigan, October 2nd, 2013. Keep in mind, previous one recorded, we just looked at October 1st in Ohio. This one day later in Michigan again, right? So here's the thing. One thing to keep an eye on. I'm going to fast forward here. There's the object. And this one seems to be changing colors, right? This is a difference to some of the other objects. And also, this is listed as normal playback speed. So I don't know if this person who ever filmed it just had like a really, really bad camera or what is going on. But there it is. Do you see it? It's the green laser. It's back. Okay. So you don't see it as clear in this one. This is by far like the worst footage. But it has the same laser. You just need to get the moments right and you can see it. So clearly the same object again. So now we have 4 videos allegedly filmed in different states. Well, not all of them. Two of them are in Michigan. Also allegedly filmed by different witnesses, which we can't really check. There it is. Did you see it? There it was again. The green laser allegedly showing the same object. So what's going on here? There is again another laser shot. It's less visible in this one. The artifacts in this video are terrible. Again, I'll link all 4 videos down in the description. You can check them out yourself. Now, I want to go back to the first video, the one that's really circulating around on the internet at the moment. It's kind of going viral. Quite a few people are talking about it, having opinions on it. Now, I hope you wrote your comment underneath if you noticed anything. Maybe you didn't notice anything. But I want to dive a little bit deeper into it, do some analysis, okay? Let's see what we can find just watching this video. There's a few things that I want to point out to you guys. First of all, the moment when he stops the car and then gets out of the car, okay? I want you to pay close attention to the sound, to the audio. I guess I need to make sure the volume is high enough so you can actually hear it. Oh yeah, that's loud enough, Jesus Christ. So here he seemingly, I think he puts it in park, unbuckles his seatbelt. opens the door, gets out of the car, closes the car door. Now he's filming, very steady. Notice there's no reaction from him. He's like, not like, what the hell is that? Also notice, it's a bit of shuffling, but he's not really walking. You'll see in a second, like, you hear this? The noise is, like, the microphone is very sensitive. You can hear every single step. He's not moving a lot. He's shuffling left and right a little bit, slowly walking around his car maybe at best, but he's not walking away very far. Then he starts running. How many steps was that? 5? 6? Let's count them. Let's count these steps. Hold on. I want to catch the moment. I count 7, 8 steps, right? 7, 8 steps he walked. Keep in mind, he just got out of his car. Now he walked 7, 8 steps, seemingly running, increased speed. Not necessarily running, but like accelerated pace. Now look at where his car is. Look how far this car is. He just got out of this car. Then he walks like 9 steps. You heard it. It took like 3 seconds. And now he's like, what, 50 meters behind his car? How does that make sense? Some other people, and I can't really check this, commented in the comment section on the Reddit post of this video that he's getting out of a sedan. It's a sedan. But then when he closes the door, it doesn't sound like a sedan. Also, the engine that's running, you can kind of hear it just as he gets out, seems to be a diesel engine. And I agree with that. That sounds like a diesel engine. It actually sounds like a bigger engine than his car actually is. I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not saying that that's any evidence. It's just an observation, really. But especially the steps of him walking away and then being much further from the car a few seconds later. It just, in terms of the timing of the video, it just makes no sense. It doesn't line up. Because now that he stops, right, you can clearly hear him stopping. He's not panting or anything. He's not like out of breath. There's no reaction whatsoever from the guy who's filming this. No, oh my God, no heavy breathing, nothing, right? In fact, he holds the camera very, very steady, almost as if he knew what was happening and what he was filming, okay? And there are a few other inconsistencies here as well. For example, the audio. When he gets out of the car, just here in the beginning, sorry, it's always a bit tricky, the recording of the car and the unbuckling of the seatbelt is very loud. When he gets out, listen to this. I want you to listen to the sound that this alien craft seemingly makes, right? It's like I don't know how to describe it. It almost sounds like someone is swinging a rope really fast through the air or something. That kind of effect. Listen to it. At this moment, when he just gets out of the car, the sound slowly fades in. Listen to this. Do you hear this? It's tricky to hear, but it gets ever so slightly louder as this scene progresses. And then as he walks away from the craft, I mean, keep in mind, in this moment, the craft or whatever it is supposedly closer to him, right? It's supposed to be right above his head or whatever. So the noise should be slightly louder. But then as he walks away and he is like the 50 meters or whatever it is away from the object, the noise level, the volume of the actual noise stays pretty much exactly the same. At this point, the alleged noise of the object is obviously overshadowed by the engine of his car that's still right next to him. But when he runs away and he's about 50 meters away, the volume of the object seems to be the same. So pay close attention to the volume level that the craft is making. Do you notice this? The noise doesn't significantly decrease. It almost stays the same. Now again, that's not rock solid evidence. It's just an observation that I had. So what are we looking at here? Can we explain what this is? Do we have a theory? I don't think we can, without a shadow of a doubt, explain it, right? It is an 11-year-old video. I think first of all, we can exclude CGI. I think it's a real object. That's my opinion. I think it really was in the sky. I think the laser effect is real. It's 11 years old. So I don't know how reasonable it is to assume that this would be CGI given those circumstances. However, the inconsistency of the timing of him running away, being very far from the car suddenly, the inconsistencies in the audio are a dead giveaway to me. This is not real. This is not an unedited video that someone recorded exactly as we see it here. The fading, the camera work, the whole vibe of the video, it feels set up. Do you know what I mean? It feels like someone had an idea. We go out in the fields, we have this object, we film it in this way, you walk away from the car, get a shot, it then scans the car. You need to be a bit further away from the car for it to be scanned, right? If you would be right next to it, it might look somewhat fake and you wouldn't get the object plus the car in one shot, so you need that distance. It feels like someone thought about what we're looking at here. So I think this is maybe a student filmmaker project and they've used a drone to get this effect. They've mounted a laser underneath the drone because, let's be honest, these laser scan lines we see here with the particles flying around in it literally look like a laser you would find in a disco. It's the same thing, and especially considering he's out somewhere in the woods, in nature, there might be fields, there might be crops, there are particles floating around in the air. It could be a lot of things. These types of lasers are very sensitive to highlight every little particle that floats around in the air. You would see each single one of them, and that's how you get this effect, in my opinion. So I think it's a drone. It's probably a filmmaker's project. And in order to underline or sell the authenticity of it, they created more than one. Because if you have the drone, why not make more than one film, right? Bring the drone up a few days later in a different place. This time, someone else uploads it to their channel and say, well, look, I'm in Ohio now. Nobody can really prove it. Nobody can verify that these people are all actually different witnesses. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of comments under this video of people who didn't watch it to the end, to this point now, and say, well, you know, if it would be a drone, clearly you would hear the noise, right? That's one part, the noise question. And the other question is 2013. There are no drones like that. That was not a thing in 2013. Well, you're wrong. Here's an article or a review by Jim T, dated 2013, November 18th, reviewing a Phantom multicolor UFO light kit for drones that you can buy. DJI Phantom drones were already a thing at the time. They were obviously more expensive than they are now and probably more rare too. But it's not that they didn't exist, okay? There's even a video here that shows how it is. And again, I'm not saying that this exact light kit was used, but it gives you a bit of an idea that it was not unthinkable in 2013 to prop up a drone that you own as a private enthusiast and make it look like this. And I mean, look at it. It is actually somewhat similar, the shape with a little dome underneath. Probably you would need to prop it up a little bit. Again, I'm not saying the exact thing that we see here was used for the video, but I think it proves the point that it was absolutely achievable to get a drone to fly like this and to look like that in the night sky and get this effect depending on the size of the drone and the size of the laser. Lasers are not huge, right? You don't need to bring in these huge disco level kind of lasers. You can have a smaller one mounted underneath and you will get a very, very similar effect. So I think the argument to say, well, drones didn't exist in this type in 2030 is it's nonsense, okay? It doesn't make sense. Now, how do we explain the audio? How is it that we don't hear a single thing? In fact, we hear the woo 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 noise that the UFO makes. Look, I can't prove to you how that was achieved, but I have a theory. And my theory is that the whole audio of this original clip, and possibly of the other clips as well, was replaced. Now, the advantage of the other clips is much worse camera work. The drone is much further away. It's not that you hear drones extremely loud if they are 50, 60, 70 meters away. The volume actually disperses quite quickly if you go to those distances. The only time when you really hear a drone very loud and very clear is when they are 5, 6, 10 meters above your head. Then it is very distinguishable from a noise level of it being a drone. But if it is 50, 70 meters away up in the air, you wouldn't hear it that much. So it's possible that they didn't replace the whole audio, but especially for the first clip that we watched, I think they redid the whole audio. They shot the scene with the drone noise and then they recorded, the running noises. They recorded him getting out of the car, unbuckling his seatbelt. They had the audio of the UFO, the woo-woo noise. They had that, so they faded it in, right? They overlaid it. There are just a few other inconsistencies in the audio that people pointed out on Reddit as well. And it sounds like there's a video, they silenced the audio track and then overlaid it with a completely new audio track, which obviously then makes the noise of the drone disappear. That's my theory, because even in 2013, audio over a video could be easily manipulated and altered. It's not that that was unthinkable. We're not talking about the mid-90s here, right? That would have been a slightly different scenario. So I think that's what it is. I'm not going to give it the debunk stamp because I can't say that I debunked it. It's just a theory. It's my opinion. I'm curious to hear your theory, right? What do you think? Are these actually aliens? Do you think this is the real deal, the smoking gun? Do we have seen aliens now, considering that there are 4 different films of this, all showing the green laser scanning the ground? But I mean, that in and of itself, that raises a whole new question, right? Like, here are these extraterrestrial beings traveling trillions of miles through space to reach us, and then what, they hang out like in a damp wood in the dead of night, scanning and investigate an old like pickup truck? Is that what we're doing here, right? They're like, oh, it's a Ford Fusion. Let's scan that incredible piece of technology. You know, it makes no sense. The whole thing makes no sense in and of itself. But anyway, that's just my take. That's my opinion. I'm curious to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown of this quite mysterious close encounter, I almost want to call it. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe for more, join our Discord. The link to that is in the description. I'm hanging out there, many other people are hanging out there. We share UFO videos and other things. We talk about anything there, pretty much. So don't forget to join the Discord through the link in the description. I would love to meet you there. Thanks for watching, thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out, bye.